Distinct honor to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Nilesh Desai sir, Director of the Space Application Center SAC, ISRO Ahmedabad. Sir, a renowned scientist, has been leading SAC since January 1st, 2021. He is a highly accomplished engineer renowned for his leadership in developing ISRO airborne and spaceborne microwave remote sensing payloads, including the RISAT-1, OceanSat-2, SCAT-1, Chandrayaan-2, and others. He has also contributed significantly to the development of real-time data processing techniques and user receivers for the indigenous NAVIC satellites. Throughout his career, Sir has served in various key roles at ISRO, including Deputy Director of the Microwave Remote Sensors Area and SATCOM and SATNAV Advanced Applications Area. As Associate Director of SAC, he demonstrated persuasive leadership and made substantial efforts to promote the usage of indigenous navigation technologies like NAVIC and Gagan. Sir is a prolific author and has presented around 175 technical papers at national and international conferences. He has received numerous accolades, including the ISRO Performance Excellence Award 2018 and the ISRO Individual Merit Award 2010. His dedication to outreach activities related to the Indian space program is commendable, as evinced by his involvement in initiatives like the Vikram Sarabhai Space Exhibition and Smart India Hackathon. So please join hands and a big round of applause in welcoming sir.
Good morning. Dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Chandra has just left for an important meeting. Pragnesh Shah Sahab, Tyagi ji, and all the other distinguished participants for this Composite Industry National Conference and Exhibition 2024. Since 2024, I had the good fortune of attending all your SINS conferences. So, although I feel I am the only non-expert among all these experience as well as the skilled people who are knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than me as far as composites are concerned. I am an electronics engineer, so you can understand my ignorance related to composites. Of course, ISRO has been a regular user of composites and a big user, and it is going to increase only. So I would like to present some of those details for the benefit of especially my friends from industry as well as academia, who will feel interested in knowing what are all challenges ISRO is going to handle in next couple of years, which will help you or motivate you to contribute in a big way, especially with the composite industry. And as sir was saying, Tyagi was mentioning that we want to make India as a composite hub, and SINSAB is trying that hub becomes operable in Ahmedabad or Baroda region itself. So to achieve those goals, I'm sure, and with the prospective customer like ISRO, you will definitely go a long way in encouraging and motivating all of you, especially from industry and academia. And as Tyagi was mentioning that this triad or quad, I will call it, is more important because we have been collaborating, we have been interacting with one another on a one-to-one basis now, but now with the emphasis more on private sector participation in many of the government initiatives as well. So this collaboration, which is, as I say, triad, is anyway there, industry, research institutes and academia. And in that is added a government facilitator. So I'll come to that, especially with respect to space, how government wants that space, which has been a very closed sector till now. Since after the COVID, government has decided to open it up and in a big way. And what are all the steps have been taken? Of course, these are beginning times, so many of you may not have come across the possibilities into that, but I would like to highlight a couple of them today so that you get an idea about what is in store, and especially with some of the other things being planned by ISRO related to advanced technologies. We have seen, of course, this month we are celebrating first anniversary of our Chandrayaan 3 moon South Pole landing, and it is in a big way. Cabinet Secretary has called all the departments heads in Delhi and instructed them that all government departments should celebrate it. So ISRO is, of course, ISRO is the main torchbearer of this, but other departments are also contributing in a big way in celebrating this event, so that how they can use space. The idea is that how space becomes a factor in the activities of all these other government departments also, so that governance and development can be improved. So that is with that idea. And you may be surprised that Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, or some of the things we cannot imagine, all those are also using space in a very big way. And lot of other things are also in store. So some of the things I would like to highlight, of course, coming to composites, as I said, I am a layman, so I will not speak much on that. But the properties like strength, stiffness, lightweightness, or tailored properties. So these go a long way in promoting many activities as far as space is concerned, because of the hostile environment which we face in space, whether it is related to temperature or vacuum or radiation. These are the three major effects which makes space very hostile when we just move away from the atmosphere, Earth atmosphere. So composite will become very handy, and especially when we are trying to do big things. Lightweightness is very important, and CFRP or GFRP or many other new things, especially things like flexible resins, then going for big telescopes, what we want to make, like, and using hybrid mirrors, and of course the standard material like TMC, CMC, MMC, all these things anyway we are going to use, or we are using in a big way. And the applications are concerned, all of you know, rocket stages or rocket parts anyway use many composites in a big way, various stages, big parts, so that way volume is very big. Similarly, satellite structures and components anyway use again composites in a big way, so lot of scope is there for launch vehicle and satellites. These two activities happen in our other centers in Trivandrum and Bangalore. And as far as we are concerned here at Space Application Center, mainly related to various payloads which we make, instrumentation. So their antenna is one of the basic elements, similarly telescopes. So for all our remote sensing instruments like radars as well as telescopes or camera systems, again composites are playing and are going to play again a major role as far as applications are concerned. So usage and applications. So these are again a lot of scope for various industry people. Of course, there are some requirements related to space qualification. So as such, as in the world today, I think one or two suppliers only are there who give us space qualified resins or fibers or pre-packs. But again, we are trying to adopt newer innovative ways to use quartz devices or quartz components also. So in same way, quartz material also will be utilized in space, so that we try to strengthen it in a different way by tailoring properties or doing qualification, going for product qualification instead of process qualification, because process qualification generally takes longer time and it will increase the cost and overall turnaround time also. So all these things, how to overcome that. So a lot of scope is there for the industry to work out that, and with more number of missions going to happen, so emphasis on space qualification will naturally going to decrease. As you, all of you must have heard about Elon Musk Starlink satellite constellation. So already 6,000 satellites are in the orbit, in LEO orbit. So you can imagine, he doesn't bother about the qualification. Of course, you need basic, it has to be reliable, it has to, once you launch it, it has to work, otherwise it will anyway create debris in the space. And again, traffic problems like we see on the roads of Bangalore or Hyderabad. So same way, satellite traffic management and debris creation, all these things are real issues or real problems. So, but when you need 6,000, or his plan is to put 20,000 satellites. Similarly, there is a OneWeb satellite constellation from Sunil Mittal. He's purchased one a UK constellation and then named it OneWeb. So that has around 780 satellites. So like that, many constellations are coming up for major activities. So even for communication, like Starlink is for broadband internet. So what was earlier done through geostationary satellite, where few satellites would have done the job. Now the emphasis is on using large number of satellites, but in a LEO orbit. So that and the low cost satellites using commercial off-the-shelf technologies. So that is another new trend. So you make instead of making a 500 crore satellite, you make a 5 crore satellite. So you don't worry about some few of them going bad also. So you remove it from your constellation and launch replacements. So that is the way, means use and throw type of thing which American society is following now. That is coming in the space sector as well, where earlier we were very circumspect when we launch any satellite. So reliability and quality was major emphasis, but now it is, I will not say it is taking a back seat, but it is giving now lesser emphasis rather than being a major factor in launching satellites. And their usage of commercial composites is going to go in a big way in doing all these activities, especially launch vehicles, satellites. So these are the two major markets for composite. And similarly for instrumentation, where we need it for building telescope, building various antenna system for radars and communication and navigation system. Again, navigation is going to be another area which is a self-sustaining one, because you need navigation. You may not be aware, but 90% of activity which you do in your daily life, when you wake up in the morning and sleep at night, is governed by navigation system. And in navigation means in world today, GPS is dominating. So GPS is controlling your life in some way or the other, every day, whole daily life. So, and recently we celebrated 25 years of Kargil war, last week only. And that time our soldiers faced a lot of difficulties, and our casualties were more compared to the adversary because of failure of GPS. Either we were not getting GPS signal, or the accuracies were degraded from 5 to 10 meter to even hundreds of meters or kilometer. So that resulted into a lot of casualties of our soldiers. So after that, government decided to have our own navigation system. And NAVIC is the one which we are going to hear. And navigation is one aspect where it is going to be there always. So you always go on replacing the satellites. They have life for 10 to 15 years. So like GPS has 32 satellites in orbit. Similarly, we have 7 satellites, but now we are also, because it is a regional system, but we are also going to go global in near future. So again, we will need, and these are regularly, it is not a ISRO project, it is more a national project rather than ISRO. So this opens up all these lot of possibilities as far as usage of composites is concerned. And this type of conferences are really required. And other factor, what Chandra Sahab also mentioned, and Tyagiji also, we are in the era of, especially India and many other countries, what we saw what happened in Bangladesh and all. So in the era of the overall, your economy is growing, but it is like a jobless growth. So either students are unemployable, or even though growth is there, but jobs are not there. So all these problems, how to solve? So in that sense also, development of industry like composites will go a big way in solving the major unemployment related problems in not only our country, but other countries as well. So all in all, this type of conferences have come at the right time, and I'm sure that efforts made by all these academia institutes, research institute like ISRO, as well as individual efforts what Arki Singh Sahab and other people are making, so will go big way in making impact as far as promoting the industry is concerned, and in a way promoting economy and jobs and other things is concerned. So I wish all the best to all of you for this 3-day conference, and ISRO is always there, not only as a user and promoter, but in other sense also. And as I said, we are opening up space industry in a big way. So you give me a couple of minutes, I'll just show you some of the developments or some of the prospective area which may happen. So come back again. We engineers generally believe in Murphy's law and Moore's law. These two laws so Murphy's law means if it can go wrong, it will. But anyway, nothing was wrong. And Moore's law means technology changes very fast. 18 months was the earlier period. Now it has become almost 3 months or so. So space program, what are the scope for composites? This I quickly try to cover because otherwise I'm notorious for exceeding my time. So this all of you know, so I don't have to tell. Space program originated from India, from Ahmedabad. So that way Ahmedabad is the birthplace of India's space program with Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. Of course, he died very early. So afterwards, our headquarters was shifted to Bangalore because Satish Dhawan was the successor and he didn't want to leave IISc. He was then director of IISc. So that way we knew that decision, that date. But anyway, it was the right decision because Satish Dhawan handled ISRO for 13 years after that, and he was the right choice because technology was more the focus that time after going through initial period of consolidating requirements for space. Kalam Sahab, of course, all of you know, so he rose to become president of the country. Below you are seeing, gentlemen, is Professor Yashpal, who was that time, again I say that everybody knows NASA. Now people have started knowing ISRO also after Chandrayaan 3 at least. But very few people know about SAC, Space Application Center, which is located in Ahmedabad. It is the second biggest center of ISRO. It is a different center compared to other ISRO centers because we are multidisciplinary. So if you see our composition, and I'll come to that. So that time SAC was distributed everywhere in this Ahmedabad. Some were sitting in some shopping complex, some people were sitting in some school, some other group was sitting in some college like that. So they were all put together as Space Application Center near satellite. And Professor Yashpal, who was a physicist, scientist at TIFR, he was invited to head this organization that time in 1972. So he just completed 50 years sometimes back. So he was our first director. I am 13th, lucky number. So, and below you see a rare picture, Dr. Sarabhai and Kalam Sahab. Both were there together at Tumba discussing something. These were the beginning, initial days where Sarabhai used to insist that if you want to make satellites or use satellites for various activities, first learn how to use a satellite for various applications. So that way how TV broadcasts like SITE, STEP, where telecommunication, the remote sensing experiment, rocket building, all these things happened. And these were all famous pictures, everybody know that. So I will not go into that. And today this is what is ISRO. Those were the beginning days. And today we have this structure. The Space Commission under, we work as Department of Space under Prime Minister's office. So that decision making is faster. That is the basic reason why atomic energy and space are with PM. And we have 7 major centers and many other smaller centers, units, and each of them has its own ambience, as you can see right hand side, whether it is Trivandrum or Sriharikota or Bangalore, Dehradun or Hyderabad. But SAC is different. Ahmedabad center, and how it is different, I'll come to that. So this is what is structure of SAC. What changed in last couple of years is in space, what you are saying that. I'll come to that specifically because that has implication for industry also. This is our ecosystem where 13,000 crore is our budget. Recently we got that approval for this year. 17,000 is our strength. It is almost static since last 10 years, but if you see activity has increased 5-fold in last 10 years. So how we are managing using subcontracting, involving more in a big way private sector. So these are the changes which have happened last few years. So we are able to cope up with the increase in activity, which is almost 5 times, as I said, but with same strength of regular employees, 17,000, but we employ more contract people now lot of outsourcing happens to private sector. So that way we are able to achieve good progress as far as overall things are concerned. Budget 13,000 looks big, but it is not so big compared to say Agriculture Ministry has 2 lakh crore budget. So you can see comparatively. This is our scorecard, which is again very satisfactory it looks, but we have our share of failures. And as you can see, launch vehicles, satellites, there are very few types. Launch vehicle now we have only 3 types, SSLV, PSLV and GSLV. We are yet to make our reusable launch vehicle and many other things. And satellites are of few types, 6 to 7 types, mini, micro, nano, like that, and bigger satellites for communication, navigation, remote sensing. But payloads which we make instrumentation, they are of different varieties. So thousands of varieties of payloads exist. So what we make here in Ahmedabad is payloads. So that is large number of it. This is our Ahmedabad center. So I invite each of you, whenever occasion arises, opportunity arises, please do come and visit our center. It will give you an idea about the activity. This is the first Earth station, what you are seeing, the big antenna built by Sarabhai. NEC Japan has built this, Nippon Electric Company. And those days, 14-meter diameter. Right now we don't have any use, but we have kept it as our heritage, this thing. And that this was the only building in this whole area, from Gujarat University to Bhopal. It was all jungle, forest. And in 67, 69 time frame, this building came up. And today we have 50 buildings at this place itself, at Satellite, our campus. And we have 2 more campuses in Bhopal, opposite DPS. So that's how we have progressed or expanded. And of course now InSpace has come up. It is housed in one of our campus in Bhopal, and that is going to facilitate further the activities. We have our station in Delhi also. Prime Minister used to go to this place to address the whole country those days, late 70s, early 80s. And from that today we have come to this mobile era where sitting at your home you can do video conferencing with anybody in the world. But those days even Prime Minister has to come to this place at Delhi station to address the whole country. We have a very good exhibition, which again I invite. It is open on Saturday, Sunday also, so anybody can visit, especially students and children. And this is our new Bhopal campus, where again InSpace is how this, what you are seeing, the clean room, it is Asia's largest clean room. So what we know, of course, we don't know China, because whatever information we have, even China doesn't have such a big clean room, which can house 6 satellites at one go. So you can integrate 6 satellites together. We have a very big thermo vacuum chamber, 6-meter diameter. So all these facilities which I am showing now are available for private sector, industries, academia. Anybody who want to use that, government has opened it up by some regularization fee payment. You can use this facility for doing your activity. It need not be space related. It could be anything. If you want to promote your industry for some other activities and you want to use for thermo vacuum testing or thermal testing or any other type of shock test, vibration shakers, anything you can use as far as industry is concerned. SAC is different, as I was mentioning, from other ISRO centers which do the very specific activity, either related to launch vehicle or propulsion or data reception or launching the satellite or making satellite. Unlike that, we do what is known as the heart of the satellite or the brain of the satellite, payloads, NITBAR, and the end product also, applications. So that also is being done at our center. So if you see our composition of human resources, mechanical, electronics, computer, of course, all type of engineers and all type of people in science domain also, geophysical, marine, biological, physical, geological, chemical science, everything. We have ITIs, diploma holders, degree holders, postgraduates, PhDs, everybody, all variety of people. So we are more like you, that is Ahmedabad University. We are more like an academic institute or university rather than a government institute. So that is the difference between us and other ISRO centers. And our activity also are very varied, as you can see, from communication, navigation, optical camera system, micro radar systems. Each of them are a big user of composites. That is another point in this. And same way application related to that. So these are some of the examples. Our satellites related to optical camera systems, all variety of satellites for various applications. We have advanced from 1 kilometer resolution, means this whole campus will appear as one dot in an image. From that to, we can read number plate of car now from space, from a height of 500 kilometers. So that's how progress has been made. And again, making these telescopes or camera systems, composites are going to play a bigger role in future. You can see this. Our first camera, IRS-1L, is to the first one, 150 kg weight, and it can cater to only 4 bands. From that, we have moved to this Carto 3 type of telescope, which, as I say, can read your number plate also from 500 kilometer with a 0.3 meter resolution and with a CFRP structure. So that's how CFRP has again helped us in improving miniaturization plus lightweighting. Similarly, for radar systems, again, we are at par with world. So we are world leaders as far as radar is concerned. And why I am saying this, I'll come to that. Again, resolution there have improved from few hundreds of meter to now 1 feet, from hundreds of meter to, from kilometer to feet. That is how improvement has happened with radar also. Radar has the advantage that it is a dual use technology. It has military use also. It can take pictures even at night. So that is the biggest advantage even in any weather conditions. So these are all the features which make radar a very useful tool. And again, radar building this radar panels, especially antenna panels and various other elements, again composites are going to play a very big role. And till now, as I was mentioning, we were launching one satellite in 3 to 5 years. Now it is going to be other way around. Every year or even 6 months, we will be launching these type of satellites. So this is our progress in radars. So the big antenna you are seeing right hand side of our first RISAT-1 radar imaging satellite. So it used CFRP in a big way. So again, a lot of scope is there for these activities. And this is one, you are going to hear a lot about this, NASA, ISRO. So NASA approached us to collaborate after we launched our first radar in 2012. And last 12 years, we have been working with NASA and JPL. JPL considered to be world's best aerospace laboratory. NASA, of course, world's best space agency, number one. So they came to India, ISRO, SAC, to collaborate with a proposal that they have a radar which they can provide. But we didn't agree to that, surprisingly. Looks very audacious on our part to say no to NASA or JPL. Because they say we have a radar, you give us satellite, launch vehicle, launch it, and we will give you data. But we said no. So then it was done on a 50-50 basis. Means we developed one radar, they developed another. Both radars were integrated. So what we are seeing, the picture is our radar here. The other one is JPL radar. So we sent it to California, JPL, where it is located, Pasadena. They integrated it, and then it is sent back to Bangalore, where it is now getting integrated with our satellite. In next couple of months, we are going to launch this. Whole world is looking forward to this radar. Again, composite. This antenna, of course, is built by an American company, Astro. It is a large 12-meter diameter, very complicated one. But we are also mastering this technology as far as building these. Similarly, communication satellites, again, lot of scope for composites because, of course, as I said, launch vehicle and satellites anyway are going to be a regular feature which are using all composite. But for payload also, where different panels where we mount the payload elements, so they are all made of CFRP and various substructure element also for this communication satellite. So these were all, as I was mentioning, geostationary satellites. So very few are required to do communication. So they are geostationary orbit stationary. So 3 satellites can cover the whole world. So you don't need in large number to do communication. But as I was mentioning about Starlink, that Elon Musk satellite constellation. So that is now the trend in last couple of years. So 6,000 are already in orbit, OneWeb against 800 satellites. And the advantage is Russia-Ukraine war is a classic case where Russia has bombarded Ukraine like anything and everything is devastated. But still TV is working in Ukraine, internet is also working. That is all thanks to Starlink. So that's how these technologies are going to help. So again, composites are going to play because you need large number of satellites. So that way, more volume of work for industry. Similarly, I was mentioning about navigation after the Kargil war. So India has its own navigation system now. Of course, we are still struggling. GPS completed 50 years. Last year, we completed 25 years this year. But we are nowhere in operationalizing that. But we are going to hear a lot about this in next couple of years where NAVIC will become a part of a regular feature of your mobiles. like it is, GPS is there right now. So again, this is going to be, and as I said, navigation is a continuing system. It is always there. So you go on replacing this satellite, and lot of ground segment is also there. So all places you need composites and its usage. So again, this is going to be a big way. Right now we are using it for governance and various development application. But as I said, it will going to replace GPS, or if not replace, at least augment GPS in near future for various activities. Because right now train movement, small boat movements after that Bombay happened, so that no foreign boat can enter our sources, our waters, and we are not able to track them. So all these things we are trying to take care through this system. Similarly, aircraft monitoring and lot of these indigenization technologies, so they also use, like this center you are seeing a big telescope. So these for astronomical and other observations. So that antenna is built using CFRP as a prototype initially with 3 meters. So such 66 petals were put together to integrate this particular antenna. So such similar antennas we are going to mount many places in the country, which will aid in astronomical and other observations in sub-millimeter and higher frequency ranges. So again, lot of scope for composite industry. This we have anyway used composite to build a prototype. And of course, the final version, which is a 6-meter diameter, is going to be metallic. But there again, we need to explore usage of composite. So there is a scope of lot of activity in all these things which we are going to build. Then quantum frontiers is another area which is going to come in a big way. After all the cyber fraud and all things happening, your OTP gets stolen, your accounts get hacked, and all this will become thing of the past with this quantum technology, where OTP, password, everything will come on a quantum channel using photons of light. So again, building this satellite we call it opto-quantum satellites, quantum communication satellites. So again, we will need large number of such satellites, so which will again feed into the requirements of, and of course, missions like Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, all these things, because they are planetary missions where weight is at premium. So again, composites obviously will play a very big role in making either rover or many other panels and other things, building these type of instruments. And of course, Gaganyaan is going to be our next major milestone, where already work is going on last 5 years. And we hope within the next couple of years, by 25-26, we'll be able to put man in space. And then it is going to be continuing program for space tourism, like you have in USA. So these are all building this crew cabin or composite-based stages for this launch vehicle, orbital module, service module. So lot of scope for all these activities as far as composites is concerned. It will be orbiting at 400 kilometer. Mission will be for 1 to 7 days, and 1 to 3 astronauts will go into space and come back after that. Right now we are working on that. Launching is easy, but bringing them safely back. So right now we have all what we call engineering and technology for the mission. But what we are missing is the safety critical aspect. So how to make it safe, like an aircraft, where when you go, you come back live. So that is what is required, rating all these hardware elements for human safety. And another major requirement is crew communication 100%. Right now with all capabilities which ISRO has, it is only 40%, 35 to 40%. Means not a single moment we will leave astronaut without communication with Earth station. So for achieving that is a big affair. So again, lot of scope so we'll be launching 2 more satellite first, which will be continuously in contact with Gaganyaan. So because Gaganyaan will be there 2 times in the morning, 2 times in the evening, visible over India. Rest of the time it is moving somewhere else. So during that time it will communicate with that geostationary satellite, and through that it will be looking always to Bangalore. So that way we try to achieve 100% communication. And then lot of ambitious announcement you would have heard. One is this reusable launch vehicle, which we are going to build or we are testing nowadays. So again, composites will have a major role, because it's a 2-stage to orbit instrument where and it will come back. So many reusable parts will be there, which will be re-employed, refurbished and reused. So again, composites are going to play a major role. And then India has planned to build our own Antriksh Station, that is like International Space Station by 2035. That is the target. First module will go by 2028 and it will be assembled in space. So again, we need to develop that new generation launch vehicle. Right now, we are limited by our launch vehicle capacity, which is only 4 ton as on today. That's why we take 40 days to reach moon, when America, Russia, China can go within 4 days. So that is the path we have to still cover. So we are making now our new generation launch vehicle. Again, that will have a lot of scope for composites because new stages will come up, new technologies. And then building this Bharat Avkash Station, that will again open up lot many opportunities, as I was mentioning. So, and of course, future space tourism station, colonies. So, and as far as industry interface, so we have a very established procedure. So all of you are welcome to take part in there. Many of you are already doing in different forms technology transfer, using our facilities, consultancy, high reliability training, all these things will aid in a big way. So these are for many other industries, but so you can get associated with us through technology transfer, consultancy, indigenization, many other things. So and these are different jobs which we have been doing wherever composite can replace it, we are open to that. This type of all the materials which we are using, and now with the newer materials like graphene and meta materials, other things also we are working on. So of course, as I said, space qualification is one major requirement, but again, for large number of constellations, what I mentioned to you about Starlink and all, something similar India is also going to build. So there it will be more a product qualification rather than a process qualification. These are some of the things which we have already realized using composites. Just for your this thing, feed brackets which we are put for our GSAT 19 satellites. So our team is here, so they have made this, Mr. Niraj Mathur and his team, so antenna related composites is used for various payload elements. So right now for payload instrumentation, antenna and telescopes, we are using in not that big way, but as I mentioned, we can always improve the overall usage of these composites for various other activities as well. So apart from satellites and launch vehicle, that anyway is a captive market for you. So reflectors, telescopes, and as I was mentioning, opto quantum, that communication payload. So that will again open up many new areas of working. Similarly for Gaganyaan and the associated other things, all antenna elements related to that. This is another for our meteorological satellite, again developing that hood of composite which was done with the help of Atira. So again that was a very good achievement for us. Similarly, the feed bracket for various communication satellite. And of course, future, we, as I was mentioning about the terahertz telescope and also in a big way, we are going to put, after testing it on ground, in space also, like the James Webb JWST telescope. So something similar India will be building. So for future also, a lot of scope is there. So these are the Cartosat series, the structures for the telescopes, which again were built using composites. So, and if you see overall how right now our market, although a lot of hype is there, but we have only 2% market as far as space is concerned. Global space market, India is contributing only 2%. So that government wants it to increase to 5% or even 10%. So that's why space sector is now opened up, and with the setting up of public sector New Space India Limited, which will again give opportunity to industry to work with NCIL. And in space, Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, which is now headquartered at Ahmedabad, what we lost when Sarabhai died, the headquarters moving to Bangalore, at least something we have gained with this in space being headquartered here. So they will be both arbiter, they are more like a regulator and then arbiter as well as facilitator for various space activities. So all private industries, academia, anybody or student startups, they can approach them not only for funding related things, but also for facilitating so that you can use our facilities in a big way. And space policy, space activity bill, FDI 100% they have allowed. So all these things, many new things have happened so that space sector grows. So you can visit or meet people in space to get more idea about how you can utilize all various incentives which are available. Technology Adoption Fund is getting now It is going to be announced any day by Honorable Prime Minister. So there will be venture capital plus technology adoption fund. So there is going to be available from Government of India. So all this will open up lot of avenues for various industries, including composites. So these are different areas where you can work with us, Space Application Center especially, which will help you to contribute in a bigger way so that we move from 2% to 10%. It will be a big jump, 5 times. So as I said, last 10 years we have grown 5 times our activities. It will further 5 times it will grow with all these big announcements related to our space station and all these things.